This electric car really does prove that good things come in small packages. This is the Audi Q4 e-tron. And now I've lived with this for 3 months now, and it could be the brand's best electric car to date. Now, established brands such as Audi have really fallen behind the electric car game as emerging brands from China have sped ahead. But they're starting to rally and fight back. And this Q4 is a great example of that. Now, it ticks nearly all the boxes for someone on the hunt for a premium luxury electric SUV. Stick around and I'll explain why. The Q4 is roughly the same size as the Audi Q3, the BMW iX3 or the Genesis GV60, and is available as a standard SUV shape or a sportback, which is Audi speak for SUV coupe. Each body shape is available in 2 grades, the Q4 e-tron 45 and the Q4 e-tron 55. We are testing the top of the range Q4 e-tron 55 SUV, which is priced from $105,900 before on-road costs, and is more than $20,000 more expensive than the Q4 e-tron 45. Sportback versions cost an extra $1,600. Our test car has 20-inch alloy wheels and matrix LED headlights with cornering lights and daytime running lights. There are 2 big screens, one for the multimedia and the other for the driver's display. It has leather appointed seats that are power adjustable and heated in the front row. Our test car has the Premium Plus package, which costs $4,700 and adds privacy glass, a 10-speaker Sonos stereo, black exterior highlights and a head-up display. Audi has also splashed out on the optional deep purple paint job, which costs $2,255, and added a panoramic sunroof, which has tinted glass and an electric sunshade. That costs almost $3,000. Check out the full written review at carsguide.com.au for the full specification. The Q4 sticks with Audi's tried and tested method. It doesn't rock the boat. It's handsome in an understated way with smooth lines and just enough panel creases to give it some pop. Now, some of the only things that make it a little bit different from the petrol-powered car is the completely closed-off front grille. And also there's some e-tron badging at the rear. Otherwise, it looks almost exactly like the rest of Audi's passenger car range, which I think Audi has done on purpose to make the transition from petrol to electric a lot easier for some buyers. Now this Q4, it has a really practical cabin. There's a few things I like in here. So one of them is that the big multimedia screen here, it's angled towards the driver, which makes it easy to view, especially when you're driving. You don't have to pay nearly as much attention. One of the things I like about this is physical buttons. So for your climate control, everything's here at the touch of your fingers. You can turn on your seat heaters, you can turn on your demister, you can turn the temperature up, down, nice and easy. And that sounds pretty simple, but a lot of cars don't have that anymore, and I really like it. And being an EV, it's got lots of open space in the cabin. So you got these big drink holders, you got a big deep bin here, you got things in the door where you can store all your knickknacks, but it also shows off that there's a few little cost saving measures in this car. If you look here, hard plastic, also on the doors, things that you're not used to when you're paying for a $115,000 car. Now this is a compact SUV, but look at the amount of room I have here in the back seat. Look, I'm not tall, but I've still got so much leg room. I've got lots of headroom, and I've had 2 kids in the back here. So I've had a forward-facing and a rear-facing child seat, and they both fit in here, no problem. So if you're looking for a small electric family car, this definitely does fit the bill too. And there's also some other things. So you've got USB charging ports down here, and you've also got your own aircon, which is essential if you've got backseat passengers all the time. Now the Q4 e-tron has a pretty big boot for a small car like this, and it has a double-decker boot, so you can remove the boot covering and it's got a little bit under. But the one big thing that's falling down is that it doesn't have a spare tire. You have to deal with one of these fiddly repair kits down the bottom here. But other than that, it's a really practical boot space. The Q4 55 e-tron brings the heat with a dual motor setup and all-wheel drive. Now those double motors, they make about 250 kilowatts and about 680 newton meters. And that's a big jump from the 210 and 545 that you'll find in the base 45 version. Now, that's good enough to propel the Q4 55 to 100 kilometers an hour from a standstill in 5.4 seconds, which is pretty fast without being over the top. At its core, the Q4 has an 82 kilowatt hour battery with 77 kilowatt hours of usable storage, which delivers a 488 kilometer WLTP certified range in the 55. The 55 SUV is the least efficient of the Q4s, as it is the heaviest and least aerodynamic, with a claimed efficiency of 18.1 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. we experienced about 20 kilowatt hours over our 3 months, which is not too bad, but is the biggest chink in the Q4's mighty armour. All Q4 e-trons can accept a max DC charge rate of 175 kilowatts and an AC max of 11 kilowatts. Now, this Q4 has Audi's Quattro setup, which is a fancy way of them saying it's all-wheel drive. But what that does is it gives it extra grip, especially in the wet, and it helps get all that power that electric cars have to the ground in a safe and smooth way. So it's a little bit rear wheel bias, so it gives a little bit more power to the back wheels. That's where the more powerful motor is, right? And that also makes it a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more exciting to drive on a twisting road if you really want. But in saying that, the Audi is also excellent highway cruiser as well. So all you do is, you're on your motorway, you whack it on your cruise control onto 110, you sit there and you have a great time. It's really smooth, it's going to get there, no fuss, it's comfortable, it's quiet. There's not a lot to dislike, really. But that also brings me to another point. A lot of electric cars, because there is no engine sound, can be loud on the road. Not the Q4, it's got excellent insulation. So yes, you're getting a little bit of tire noise and a little bit of like what's going on. That's what happens. But compared to other electric cars I've been into, this one is remarkably quiet, it's serene, it's a really comfortable thing. And that gives it that element of luxuriousness that I was talking about earlier. It's a bit of pampering, it's a bit of panache, it's something that's what you're paying extra for. It's those little 1% things. Talking about those 1% things, a lot of cars now come with all the bells and whistles, especially when it comes to safety tech, but they're not calibrated right. Audi has. It's not binging and bonging at you. It's not jumping in when it doesn't need to. Yes, it'll work. It'll save your life, the safety tech, but it's not going to infuriate you on a day-to-day basis. And that is worth a lot of money in my book. Now, one of the little things that, lets the Q4 down, and it's not Q4 specific, it's kind of electric car specific. They're very heavy. The suspension often struggles to keep up, so you can get it feel quite rough over small, consistent bumps, or it can sort of wallow in the big ones because it's a heavy car and it's hard to keep all that weight in check. But it's not a deal breaker in my mind. And as far as electric cars go, this one's pretty good. Now, so those double electric motors, they've got plenty of punch, right? And it's fast, but without being insane fast. Like you hear these electric cars now and they've got, 500 kilowatts, 600 kilowatts. You don't need that much. This thing's a very respectable 250, about 680 Newton meters. That's heaps. And it's fast without being too much. So it's an enjoyable thing to drive. It has what I like to call usable speed, where you can actually enjoy it without breaking the law. One thing great about this car, it's got really short overhangs, it's got compact dimensions, makes it amazing to drive around town and to park in underground car parks because it's got a really small footprint despite its quite big interior. So that's another thing to really like about this car. The Q4 has a 5-star safety rating with great marks for adult and child occupant protection in physical crash tests. There is a long list of safety tech too. The Q4 will automatically hit the brakes if it detects a potential collision. It'll warn you if a car is in your blind spot or if a car is approaching from the side as you reverse. And a range of sensors will keep you centered in your lane too. For the full list of safety equipment, head over to carsguide.com.au for the full written review. Audi guarantees its vehicles with a 5-year and unlimited kilometre warranty. The battery is covered for 8 years or 160,000 kilometres. Service intervals are every 2 years or 30,000 kilometres. That's super long, but pretty normal for electric cars these days. Owners can buy a 6-year service plan for about $2,050, which isn't too bad for a luxury car. The Q4, it's a big step forward for Audi. It's friendly, it's competent, and it's really fun to drive. And like all luxury cars should, it makes you feel a little bit special with a bit of pampering and a bit of panache. Now, it's not the cheapest one around, and it's not the most efficient. They're the kind of only 2 chinks in its mighty armour. But if you're on the hunt for a compact, luxury electric SUV, this needs to be on your shopping list.